benched. He, of course, was on lip-tack and has been absolutely killed in this second quarter.
Butcher has marked the kick in. Kerrison in contact with the coach. The kick goes out towards the wing. Brown beaten for it by Wigney. Certainly fit the showing. Away goes Wigney. Wigney's kick too wide. Modra punched away by Pert. Pert obviously back there on the champion full forward. Kick off the ground by Watson. Not a bad ploy. Russell finding it difficult to get into it. Ball now finishes with Fraser. Looks to give the hand pass away. Richardson not watching. And the siren has sounded. The Adelaide Crows searching for their first chance in the finals. The crowd for going berserk. Adelaide lead by 6 points. 8-11 plays 8-5.
Well, how about that? 13 scoring shots in the term. They pummeled the goal. Modra's got 3. And this crowd is so excited. Some of them, I think, booing the umpires. That's very ill-conceived. They should be applauding their team. That was a terrific term. They were cornered, but the Adelaide Crows had come back. But don't write Collingwood off just yet. Momentum all with the Crows there. Collingwood have been embarrassed. They won't like that. And I think they'll come back. It often happens in football. The corner like that, but Collingwood is still in touch. And those expressions tell you something. They're a little befuddled at the moment, but they will regroup. Adelaide lead by 6 points. It's 8-11 to 8-5.
The first quarter. For Collingwood, McGuan, Francis, Fraser and Richardson were dominant early, but they've just faded a little bit and need to lift. There's the second quarter stats, and you can see those centre bounces. They have been dominant in that quarter in that area, Adelaide. As usual, they've also got more possessions.
What about Collingwood getting back from here? I made the point as they were coming off the ground as we look at the complete match stats there, favouring Adelaide as well. But generally, stats do when the Crows play. But sometimes in a game, you get a side on a wave like that. Half-time comes, and quite surprisingly, after half-time, things can go back to what they were earlier. Do you believe that?
Oh, certainly. I think we saw that over at Perth on Friday night, where if you can just hold on, we saw we saw Geelong do it against the West Coast, and if you can just hold on and go back, regroup at half-time, you can come out and turn the game around. I must say, though, that task is much more difficult when you're playing here at the pressure cooker.
Well, you're watching in Geelong. Tough afternoon for Cats fans this afternoon.
Yes, and having a look at the statistics, a fair spread through there. Adelaide do chip the ball around. Everybody ends up getting a touch. I have been impressed with Liptak's game, and Tregenza also a player, one of 6 players for the Crows that has played every game, has been quite good also.
One other game being played today, that's at the MCG, and it involves Melbourne and Fitzroy. Nothing riding on that one. Let's take a look at some of the highlights, though. Obviously, some good football being played there. And we start with one of the early goals. This is Obst getting the ball to Campbell as
that they put in paid dividends, and that's what it's all about. He said they started to run straight, they had a decent go, and the score is on the board just to show you what you can do when you're down. He's told them to have a go at Collingwood players when they have a go at you. Don't sit back. Corns reckons the Magpies have run out of legs, and the Crows can capitalise on that in this third term. Continue to man up, and defenders, don't let your opponent out of your sight this quarter. Quite hot down here. Dehydration could be a bit of a problem, and the Crows taking plenty of water at half-time. Corns claims once they settled down and got away from their early sloppy approach, things really went their way. Graham Corns prepared to experiment, as Gerard said. Wigney at centre-half forward and Nigel Smart going to the pocket. Similar situation to what they used to do with Scott Hodges and Modra. In all, Graham Corns delighted with that quarter, and unfortunately for Collingwood fans, we didn't have any chance to get into the rooms. A lot of talk in there. Lee Matthews going bunter, but nothing to report from there.
Bunter.
Bunter.
Here they come. The Magpies, having been bunterised, they're back on the football park. So 6 points the difference, and Robert, do you think they can get back?
I'd rather go down and ask Maxie what bunter means.
Okay.
Well, he wasn't happy, obviously.
Now, Maxie,
Yeah, Dennis, situation down here with the wind. It was blowing right to left of screen. Now it's turned completely around, so Adelaide will have the advantage of the wind in this quarter. And I might say, of all the sides that have come here, there is a huge amount of Collingwood supporters here. I don't know if it's the Port Adelaide supporters barracking for Collingwood, but there'd have to be about 5,000 to 10,000 Collingwood fans. And very interesting for the Crows in that first quarter, because usually when a goal is kicked by the opposition, you don't hear a thing, but here today you'd swear we were somewhere else and not Football Park. A huge contingent of Collingwood fans here.
Yes, and full credit to them for following their side across. Andor, of course, coming to the footy if they live in Adelaide, but it makes for a great game. Two sets of supporters, something interstate games do miss from time to time. Well, most of the time, but Collingwood supported so strongly around the nation. It's been certainly high decibel stuff this afternoon, Robert.
Yes, I think I just spoke to Kim Hodgman, who does some radio work with the ABC, and he said he's been to every game here this year, and he's never heard the sounds like he's hearing today. It's just an absolutely incredible feeling at Football Park. You asked about whether Collingwood can get back into the game. I think all they need to do is just approach it the way they did early. Their attitude early was spot on.
I think Collingwood are in a bit of trouble with the height of the Crows up forward. I noticed that Pert is picking up Modra. And my thoughts before the game were that he would be far too slow. We'll see how it comes about.
Wren gets it across to McGuinness. And the Crows initially take off where they left off. Smart couldn't complete the mark there. Woods goes to ground, knocked on by Liptak, who's been splendid. Brown on the ground. Woods ridden into the ground. Back comes Brown. Players appealing for kicks in there, but the umpire letting them play, and now he wants it. And will bounce it down about 35 metres from Adelaide's attacking goal.
Wouldn't you think there'd be a criticism from the coach about appealing for free kicks? Someone could sneak away with a footy while they're doing that.
Happened a few times today, hasn't it?
Amazing stuff.
Smart knocked it down, but straight to Brown. Here's Pert up from full back. He kicks it out wide where Watson leads in the race. It's close to the boundary line. It trickles across and we'll have a throw. And Anderson was chasing Watson. No change to the halftime score.
Pretty tall order to ask Gavin Brown to outpoint Smart. Much taller player with a big spring.
Boundary throw in, big punch towards the Adelaide Crows goal. Wiedemann tapping it to his own advantage. Outruns Morwood. This could be the goal of the night, but it's probably in the finish, the anti-climax of the night. And if that was a point, I'm very surprised.
Well, I guess on screen you saw the reason why Shane Morwood has perhaps played his last game for Collingwood. The fact that Wiedemann could just sprint away from him.
But what did you think about the point? Was that a point?
Oh, no, what was a point? It was
missed by a couple of feet, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the kick in from that resultant behind. Kick forward. Now Brown. He's on centre wing. Just a little kick near the centre of the ground. Overrun by both Collingwood players, Fraser and Rowe. Taken away by Tregenza, Anderson, Jarman. Now Anderson again. Little kick was good vision. McGuinness has got some space. He'll run up inside 50. Good shepherd by Wigney. The umpire didn't see it. Away goes McGuinness. That's goal of the night, if you don't mind. Tony McGuinness, a very important first goal in the second half for the Adelaide Crows. They lead 9-12 to 8-5.
Well, I guess the importance of goal-kicking rovers is well recognised, but I was surprised to see that Tony McGuinness has kicked only 10 goals, now 11 for the season, at an average of less than 1 per game in his entire career. But more often than not, he gets those valuable ones like that one.
Emotional evening this one now as Wren goes up and thumps it down. Liptak in the grasp. McGuinness again inspired his third kick of the term. Modra!
Dennis, he just has to take the mark of the year, doesn't he? Look at that.
He's got a few candidates. How about that one?
Well, I'm afraid Gary Pert has only one option, and that is to play 5 or 6 metres in front of Modra because of his lack of pace. And that just supplies Modra with a step ladder.
It's tough. Needs a net. Here's Modra. He's got it. That's his fourth. Smiles all round, and Adelaide at 10-12, Collingwood are 8-5.
And I'll just repeat myself once again. I can't see there's any way that Pert is going to beat Tony Modra.